Morning, everyone, and welcome to Corona Cuppa Day 2. When on Sunday I thought about starting this and got really good feedback, I thought, oh, it's going to be something really positive in the days to come. And I expected things would get tougher, but isn't it until the actual reality hits in and you watch the press conference from yesterday and you think, fuck, this shit is getting serious. And I thought, should I still actually be doing the Corona Cuppa? But yeah, I think I definitely need to, because it was always intended to be a place for practical advice, light-hearted, not too serious, and somewhere where you could literally come and grab your cuppa and just take a 10-minute pause and think about what was going to happen. I don't want this to be a political place. I'm not very good at political debate, but I do think that I need to tell you that I am really now taking this seriously. If schools aren't shut by the end of the week, then I will take our kids out of school next week. And the thing that really made it hit home for me, just personally, was when you think back to that horrendous day, 9/11 in New York, and it did feel a little bit like the world had ended, didn't it? It was awful. I remember it so clearly. And yet the New Yorkers were like, we will not be beaten. We will open our shops. We will be there. We will not let this beat us. The city that never slept rallied round and supported everyone. And it was phenomenal to see. And yet the city that never sleeps, New York, is effectively asleep. It's shut down. And yet Durham, where I live, Dudley, Doncaster, Derby, all the other towns and cities you can think of that begin with D in the UK are, schools are still open, and it's odd. So I am taking this seriously, and I get a massive sense of the panic and the worry out there. So the blog that I talked about yesterday, the practical tips to keep marketing your business through these really uncertain times, the bare bones of that is just about ready to go live. It will be live today. And what I'm trying to do is keep it really practical tips. It's split out into types of business. I've got cafes, bars, pubs, taxi business, care agencies, the B&Bs, the wedding suppliers, and it's based on actual conversations that I'm having where people are coming to me for advice, or where people are sharing with me their ideas and allowing me to share them out to the wider community. So I'm trying to make it stuff from my brain so that it's different to what's out there, so that you can get as much advice as possible and it's not repeating advice. And what I want it to be is practical. So if people are saying, well, just send a newsletter, and you're like, what the actual fuck am I going to put in a newsletter? How am I going to write it? I'll give you some ideas. So an example that I will put in later today is a lovely client of mine is in the wedding supplies industry, and some clients have not turned up, clients have cancelled, and she said, I've written an email, text, WhatsApp, however I communicate with my clients, and I want to send it out to say, if you're going to cancel your appointment, just please let me know, or let's have a chat about what's happening. And it was fine. What she'd put in was perfectly fine, but it was very corporate. And my sense now is, if you're putting out communications, be you. Now is the time to be you more than ever. I've just shared with you that really I'm taking this seriously, and the whole New York thing is what made it hit home for me. New York shut, and yet Corbridge Middle School is still open, and St. Bede's is still open. And why is Durham open when Concert is shut? So there you go. So I'm being honest with you. So in your communications, be you, share your voice, hold your customers' concerns. So if you're in the wedding industry, you might think in the grand scheme of things, well, the wedding can be postponed, and even if it's cancelled and you lose the money, as long as you're fit and you're healthy. But you know that for your clients in that moment, it's their problem, it's their struggle, it's their heartbreak. In a way, it doesn't matter what's going on in the wider world. This is their day that they have planned for. They might be thinking, if my grandma's not at my wedding next month, then if I have it next year, she won't be there. So it might just be a wedding, but you guys in that industry know how important this is, what a celebration of joy it is, how it brings people together, and the coronavirus is just stopping that in its tracks. So hold that space for them, be there for them. When they're ready to come back, you're the person that they'll pick. So in your communications, be you. And that's the type of advice I'm trying to give in the blog, and it'll be finished later today, and I will post the link. So I did say, let me have a quick slurp of tea. Why do live videos become massively more nerve-wracking when you've got your husband watching? Hi, Kieran. Thank you very much for watching 2 doors away in the living room. So he's watching because he knows I'm sort of going to tell a story about him. So to bring the lightness and the levity into this morning's Corona Cuppa, I'm going to tell you a little story. On Sunday, me and Kieran asked my mum if she would babysit. She's 64, she's healthy at the moment, and we said, right, we want to pop to the shops and get a few bits and bobs, not stockpile, it was just a few things we were aware we didn't have, and like cat litter, so we'd go and get them. So mum came over and we said, we won't be long, we'll be an hour maximum. So we went out in the car and we came back and we walked in, and my mum is the sort of mum is that when you go out and you come back, like the benches are all clean and the dishes that were in the dryer are all like stacked up, all like nice to go in the cupboard. So I thought, well, she'll have done something. And I came in and she said to me, can you smell something? Can you smell something? And I thought, oh, I couldn't. And I said, well, actually, I can smell a cat litter because we've been to get cat litter and I need to change it. So I'm really sorry if the house has been a bit whiffy. No, can you smell something? And I said, can you smell Jack Daniels? I thought, have you been drinking on the babysitting job? Are you worried? Is there something you're not telling me? Have you got coronavirus and you just necking back neat Jack Daniels when we go shopping? And Mum doesn't really drink. Glass of Bucks Fizz on Christmas, a few lagers maybe like on a weekend, but she certainly doesn't drink the hard stuff. So she said, well, I went to clean the benches and your bottle of Flash was empty. So rather than check under my sink where I keep all of my spares, and this is actually my full one, but she picked up my empty one, rather than look under the cupboard to find the full new one, she managed somehow to get the top off this. And you know how tough they are to get off. She got the top off this. She got Kieran's good bottle of Jack Daniels, not his like bog standard one, a one that's a bit better. I don't know why it's better. I just know it's because it's got the blue bit on. One of the ones he'd got for his 40th birthday. And she got the top off that. She took this, she poured that in there, she filled it up with water, and she cleaned my benches with it. Now, it's just like, thanks, Mum, I think. A bit random, but okay. I have, well, you know, you get rubbing alcohol and that, and people are buying out rubbing alcohol now to make their own hand sanitizer. So I thought like Jack Daniels would just work. Just balmy. I love you, Mum, but you're absolutely balmy. So yeah, if anyone's ran out of Flash or antibacterial spray, we've got a bit of Jack Daniels left, but not much. I'll keep those benches clean, everybody. I don't even really drink, but I think when she told me that, I was like, I think I'll just have a shot. Why not? One more thing that I'd like to share this morning is this. This is my 6-minute diary. And you can see it's well used because I quite often, it sits on the couch where I sit. It sits on the arm of the couch, and it quite often has my cup of tea balanced on it like that. So this is my 6-minute diary. And I think if you don't use something like this, but you have thought about it, then now is actually a really good time to start. And you might think, well, I'm losing clients, I'm worried about my business, how am I going to manage being at home with the kids for a fortnight. There's a business friend that I have, and his little girl's at risk, and I've seen that because his wife is maybe suspected of having coronavirus, they're now going to self-isolate for 12 weeks to protect his little girl. And you think, well, like, what have I got to be grateful about? But there is stuff in the everyday. So let me show you this. So this is my second one. I've been using this for about a year now. So you get a double page spread. I'll just show you the day. And on a morning, the idea is you take 3 minutes on a morning and 3 minutes on an evening. And there's different versions of these about. You would, on a morning, write 3 things that you're grateful for. You would write how you would make today great and a positive affirmation. And I have 2 decks of different affirmation cards, and I pick one and I write something down. Or it might be a song lyric. I heard last week a really powerful phrase. A lady who was in the banking industry was saying to her daughter, who's around 14, in your career, get paid for what you think, not what you do. And I thought, that's where I'm heading with my business, getting paid for what I think, not what I do. And for me, having the confidence to get paid for what I think and not what I do, that's been a big mind shift for me. So I've had that as a positive affirmation in my book. Then there's a quote, and then on an evening, you would write your good deed for the day. And you always have done something good, and it can be something good that you've done for yourself. It doesn't have to be something good that you've done for somebody else, although right now you might be doing stuff for everyone else. How you'll improve, and 3 great things you experienced today. And you do that every day, and you get into the habit of it. And I've now got a full one of these, and when I look back at it, it's brilliant. And I've made more progress in my business since I've started to do this than I probably had in a long time. So yesterday we hadn't had the massive virus announcement about the 70 plus people being quarantined for 12 weeks and then the whole household going into self-isolation if someone was suspected. But in the morning, I was grateful for a new week, despite the global oddness. My gorgeous 7-year-old girl and Tabby, which was Livy's cat that she got, a cuddly cat that she got for her birthday. And she told me to put that one down because she quite often sees me writing in it. And trying my oat cookies cold this morning. They were vile, but at least I tried some home baking. Lots of mine are about food. This is how I make today great. Start my daily Corona cuppa and see how it goes. And I was quite anxious about going live regularly and consistently because I haven't done it for a long time. And it's a very odd time to actually start doing something. Sorry, my mind just went a bit blank there. So, was I taking a risk? Livy chose my positive affirmation, and it was a bit of a long one, but she picked it so that I would write loads down. And it says, I have a perpetual attitude of gratitude. I am content to be who and what I am. My good deed for the day was my first Corona Cuppa video. I believed it helped. And then I have a small group of friends who all have their businesses in a WhatsApp group. And I said, I gave support in the WhatsApp group. How I'll improve says keep calm, and then brackets, ER, keep calmer. And great things I experienced today. We are healthy. I started my practical advice blog. I went live and it felt good. And then I put, what a day. The UK went into near shutdown. This morning, I'm grateful for we are happy and healthy. I have Kieran. See, that's why he's watching, so that I say how much I love him. And number 3, I can support people with my skills. And I've been given advice and support. I'm not charging. I'm not really in a place to not charge, but it'll all come back to me at some point. I'm sure it will. This is how I'll make today great. Corona Cuppa Day 2. Here we are. Talk to Vicky and Tracy and start to tidy the loft so that if I need to use it as more of an office than a playroom, I can do. A positive affirmation. We've got this. Our Rose family. we've got it. So basically, we will get through this. We will be together. I've been doing my vision board and I haven't finished it. I am a real starter, not finisher person. That's me. But I found this is in my diary to go in my vision board. Let us eat cake. Okay, brilliant. It might seem random when things are hard, especially if you've got a small business, but if you can spend a tenner, £15, depending on what version you want to get, do you know what? Even just open a notebook. I know plenty of you are stationery addicts. Find a notebook, 3 things you're grateful for every morning, something you're going to do to make the day great, and on an evening, 3 good things that happened. Good things always happen, even if it's a beautiful drawing that the kids did, even if it's like I always go to put Livy to bed, and as I try to give her a kiss, she always does the most massive fart and it makes me laugh. And actually I've got one, I forgot one, there was one I meant to put in. Me and Livy were playing Hangman last night and I said it's a movie and it was 3 words and it was Trolls World Tour, and she couldn't guess any letters and she was like getting the hangman bits, and then she guessed O, and so there was O and Trolls and O and World and an O and Tour, and she looked at it and she got Trolls World Tour and she laughed and she laughed and she was so happy, you know. And then so in all of this global madness we had such a precious joyful moment because Livy absolutely roasted me at Hangman and guessed Trolls World Tour. So I am going to go and finish my cuppa, add that into my diary, and I will come back and I will see you tomorrow, hopefully happy and healthy, smiling, and with some lightness and levity. I think that's it. Other than when the blog's done, I will post the link. Thank you for joining me. I was meant to say, please ask any questions, post any comments, but I forgot to, but you're always welcome to. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a lovely day. Come and ask me any questions. That's what I'm here for. And I will see you tomorrow. Loads of love, everyone. Take care. Stay healthy. Bye. Bye-bye.